What's going on, and welcome back to another episode of Creative Digest, where we sit down and we talk with other creators and creatives and talk about their processes and their experiences. Dude, man, what the crap?
But yeah, lots happened. It's been a minute.
Has it? It was last week that we were recording with who are those guys? You know, Luke and Trey, right? Our last episode. No, our last episode was with Jonathan, right?
Yes, I was gonna say. Figure it out.
Yeah, man. I haven't been keeping up. How long has it been? Like real time.
Oh man, I want to say a couple months.
But a lot's happened. Life happened. Nay.
Yeah,
life
I
happened.
think that's definitely a good way to put it.
You, sir, have already gone back to our lovely Europe.
Yeah, no, I mean, winter break, went back there. Got to see everyone. Philip, who we covered in 3 episodes ago now. Got to, reminisce on the good times with him.
That's nice. He's in Berlin now. I think major updates. He lives in Berlin. He is now an employee of Zeit, which in the English translation is Time. He is now what does he do? He's a reporter. He is what?
Journalist.
A journalist for Time magazine. What a guy. What a stand-up fella. Just an absolute win. I'm now in Columbus for the sake of co-op, which is awful.
Woo-hoo.
No, awful.
Not awful.
Look, and I had this hard realization today, right? The hard realization today of I don't have any friends up here. I have no friends in Columbus. It is just work and like family, and I guess that's fine. But let me tell you, my vibe is killed just about 24/7. Why do you think I drive down to Cincinnati so often? I mean, all of my
to see me, obviously.
All of my friends are down there. No, not to see you. No, no, it is to see you if you were freer. You are always doing something, and it's so hard to line our schedules up. But I feel like this is really our first time, not just doing the podcast in a minute, but catching up in a while.
Yeah, I was going to say we saw each other a few times since we last recorded, but like with you being up in Columbus and just me doing everything with school and projects, like you said, getting those schedules really together have been rough, but
we're dialed back in.
We're in.
If this works out, if this is semi-feasible, this recording over Zoom, a 45-minute phone call, or not phone call, what is this, Discord call, I think is so feasible for us. Once a week, hopping on, pulling people into the phone call with us.
I mean, if we can record out of a box, I think this is feasible.
Record out of a box.
Remember the old podcast studio?
Oh my gosh! Well, the old podcast studio was equipped with Shure SM7Bs.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and was sound treated. And now, I will say that the space that I'm currently living in was originally a studio, like a recording studio. I mean, there's literally a glass panel right behind me. This is my office, and then back there is my closet, like that window.
We're getting a little room tour here.
Yeah. And then like my kitchen-esque area is right there, and then like my couch. It's like a studio as it gets.
And mine's my work desk station,
which is awesome. I love that. And hopefully the people we bring on have a semi-decent recording setup. I don't know if they will, but let's hope they do. Can you believe it that even after all this time that Oppenheimer is still as relevant as it was when we recorded last?
Oh, I mean, doesn't surprise me. Heck no. Like,
well,
I feel like we
had such a long segment in one of our episodes that was like solely dedicated to Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, well of course.
And I feel like we could still have a segment dedicated to Oppenheimer.
I mean, with the Oscars and everything, I definitely that Oppenheimer Barbie hype never really, left. It's still always a topic of conversation, and even from Greta Gerwig and that whole controversy, still being talked about. And I mean, not as favorable as the fashion as you and I would prefer it to be, but reality of the industry we work in, I guess, unfortunately.
Do you think Greta Gerwig got snubbed from her nomination? I have a take, but I want to hear yours.
Yes.
Okay. Is that your political answer or your actual thoughts?
No, it is my actual thought.
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely everything in the essence of it is just unfortunate to see. Especially with how Ryan Gosling got the Best Supporting Actor nomination from that. I did like to, see more from it. It was one of those where you see all over the internet people talking about, did the people creating these nominations not actually watch the movie?
Oh, well, that's the truth.
Oh yeah, very easy to see that sentiment there. But yeah, I do believe she was robbed.
Yeah, well, and for me, I think she was robbed the nomination. Do I think she was going to win?
Definitely the nomination.
Do I think she was going to win? No.
No, there was a lot of stacked.
Yeah, she's going up against absolute heat. There. Doesn't mean she's any less heat, but
oh no.
Also looking at who the Oscars likes to choose, the fact that Chris Nolan's even there is kind of blowing my mind. Traditionally, he got snub after snub after snub. I mean, he got absolutely robbed for Interstellar. He got absolutely robbed for Inception. He got absolutely robbed for Tenet. So he had 5 blockbuster bangers back to back to back to back, and just now is getting a nomination. Probably going to win it. Just now getting a nomination. And so do you think, and this is just hot takes to get the conversation stirring, do you think that she's gotta earn her keep? Yeah, she made an absolute banger, and I think she's going to continue to make bangers. But how many bangers has she made? 4? 5? He's made...
I don't know. The have to earn your keep argument, I think you can have a, one offset killer movie that can definitely, you don't have to... if you earn it with that movie, you don't have to continuously prove yourself, But I feel like if you go...
Does that make you one of the greats as a director, or it's okay, you can win an Oscar for Best Director, but that doesn't immediately make you one of the greats? Because that's how I feel about the Daniels. Even though they won Best Director for anything or everything, what's that movie? Everything everywhere
all
at once. Yeah.
Yeah, you're tripping me up.
The Daniels, I think they absolutely aced it with that movie. But where are they? What else are they doing? What else have they done? Nothing really to talk about. And now that's not the same for Greta, though. She's done quite a bit. Am I mistaken? Greta has quite the repertoire.
No, she really does. And I think when it comes to this, back to do you have to earn your keep, and with Christopher Nolan, the example you used earlier, you get into I don't know. In my head, it kind of goes to the LeBron James, Michael Jordan, greatest of all time. I've obviously not putting them in the categories of greatest of all time, but getting that Oscar nomination or Oscar win of, Best Director for a film cements your spot in a place that, people like you and I could only wish to be in. Will I ever get an Oscar nomination?
Yeah, right.
God, I hope so. I'm kind of approaching this from the standpoint of who am I to try to put myself in a position of saying this is what should be done and what should not be done.
I hear you there. I do, and my sentiment, and to agree with the mass in the sense of she did get a snub, is the nomination, the Oscar nominations, I guess, is actually smaller than this scale of is she one of the greats? Did she have to earn her keep? And I think that's not that conversation gets voided by the idea that we're looking at 2023.
Yeah.
Right? Is she one of the best directors? Is she in the conversation as one of the best directors for 2023? And the short answer of that is yes. Was Barbie, or Margot Robbie's performance as Barbie, one of the best female lead performances of the year? Without a doubt. Was it the best? No, in my opinion. But that's that's apples and oranges, right? I think at the end of the day, their snub comes from not are they one of the greats of all time. It's were they one of the greatest from 2023? Because we're in the 2023 Oscars, and that's what we should be talking about.
And I mean,
no, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like you look back at 2023, and that's one thing you are going to think about, that just like 6-month beginning of the year hype behind Barbie and Oppenheimer, everybody talking about it. And end of the day, they made a incredibly fun and enjoyable movie to watch. So seeing that, how that made its own success, I think is really important. And having all of the, you look back at 2023 and you think of Barbie. And I mean, even getting the nomination for Best Picture is something that puts it up there with all these crazy, movies.
Yeah, if the movie is in the Best Picture category, I feel like the director should automatically be a part of that conversation.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I think the Best Picture category should be shrunk. It's like 15 movies. I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh, it's a list.
I don't have the list.
Is it 15?
I don't actually know.
Right, hold on.
Yeah, give it a Goog. Give it a Google.
A Goog.
Give it the old 1-2 Google. And I think while you give it a Goog, for listeners at home,
it's 10.
It's 10. Okay.
Yes.
That's not as many as I thought. I thought 15. But 10's I guess 10's a good number.
Yes.
But with that being said, there should be 10 Best Director noms, because it's pulling from the same pool, right? Who's up for Best Director? Martin Scorsese.
Christopher Nolan.
Do you have the list up?
Jonathan Glazer. I'm gonna totally butcher Yorgos' last name.
Oh, Lanthimos or something.
Yeah, Lanthimos.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not good at reading. And then Justine Treat.
So there's how many? 5?
Yeah. There's 5. Yes, it's half of the Best Picture.
No, that's not. Yeah, talk about a snub. There should be 10. There should be 10 nominees, and it should be the 10 that create. Well, because they directed the 10 best movies. The movies.
Yes, and
that's my take.
I see your point, but I feel like, when you come to nominations, the bigger you make that, it doesn't change that only one person is going to get the award for Best Director. And I feel like when you have it that wide of people to pull from, it's one of those where you want to see the best of the best, and I feel like having it in that shorter list makes it, first of all, when you're watching the Oscars, definitely a lot easier. But also it's these are the directors who for this year, for these films, went above and beyond.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately though, in these circumstances, it does have this situation where, some people get snubbed. And I hate that that's the...
Yeah, that's the reality. And what I'm noticing, and I'm looking at the list now myself, and what I'm noticing here is that you were saying, it is the best of the best. It's Justine Treat, I would suppose, who directed Anatomy of the Fall, or of the Fall. Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon. Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. Yorgos for Poor Things, and then Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. If you've seen any of those movies, you would know that those were the movies that are just here. You know, they're up
Yes.
here.
They're great.
And that doesn't make, and I think that doesn't make Barbie any less of a Best Picture nom, for the same reason that American Fiction isn't any less of a Best Picture nom. But was American Fiction's direction as groundbreaking as Christopher Nolan's, or as Yorgos, or as Justine, or as Martin's, or as Jonathan's, right? Like, was the direction for Barbie groundbreaking? Not really. It was great. I think it was a great movie, and I think that it was an important movie, and I think it did a lot of challenging things. But when I look at this list of 5, and I don't know if this is the truth, and this is assuming the best in the Academy, saying that they don't have inherent bias. They do, but let's say the Academy doesn't have inherent bias here. Well, then they're going off of, well, the Anatomy of the Fall, or the Killers of the Flower Moon, or the other 3 directors up here did something in their film that was groundbreaking, that was worthy of saying, you were the best director because you did something new, you did something innovative. But I don't know if that's the truth. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it just goes back to, like, you know, having that shorter list. I think there's always going to be, you're going to have different rankings of best directors. I'm going to have different ratings of best directors, just with, you know, everybody at the Academy who's going over these. And unfortunately, you know, like, Barbie could have been at 6, or
right.
Sorry, Greta Gerwig in this case would be at 6, and
right,
that's the reality, and it's very unfortunate. But
yeah, I hear you. Like, the nom could have come in, but would the nom have pushed her over the top of getting the win? I don't think so. In looking at this list and knowing how the Academy works, I really think Yorgos is actually going to get the win for Best Director here. I don't think Chris Nolan's going to get it. If Chris Nolan gets it, I won't be mad. That's who I'm rooting for. That's who I'm pulling for. But at the end of the day, I really do think Yorgos is going to pull it away. Because Poor Things is just kind of one of those movies that the Academy just eats up, and Yorgos did that. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at with the Oscars this year. That's where I'm at with the Oscars this year. You know, we got to have one of these episodes once a year. And
I remember last year when we had this episode.
What were the movies last year? What did we talk about?
Oh my goodness. Well, one of them was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh yeah.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Whoa. Wow.
I'm trying to go off the top of my head now.
What a flashback, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
My gosh.
You pulling up that list?
No, I'm not. Did you see that at the BAFTAs, you know, just recently, at the time of this release, the BAFTAs, the noms we're talking about right here were the same noms that went and just kind of like did their thing over in the UK.
Yeah.
Chris Nolan, Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr. swept over there. Poor Things also had quite the run at it. So I think, if anything, my takes are really just coming from predictions. We saw the Emmys. We saw the Golden Globes. We're now seeing the BAFTAs. We see the direction that the awards are wanting to go. And that's in the direction of Oppenheimer. And that's in the direction of Poor Things. With the occasional thing like Best Song, I think, was Barbie at the Emmys. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I don't know if that's the truth.
I did not tune in to the Emmys as much as
somebody fact check me.
I do
Somebody fact check me. Does it feel good that we're back? I mean, the Creative Digest, your favorite freaking podcast in the world, is finally back, and we're dialed in. And the 2024 is just kicking off. And yeah, maybe we had a rough landing. Maybe we even crash landed in 2023. You know what? No, I'm not even going to say we crash landed. I think that we just stopped flying the plane. and we're finally turning the gears back on. I think, at least myself, I don't know if this is true for you, I feel like I have a bit more of a handle on my schedule. Even though it's getting
Definitely.
crazier and crazier and crazier, I at least know, okay, well, I'm going to be done working by 7:30, 8 o'clock most days, or at least one day a week. I can try to fit
Yeah.
this in for the people. And
We're definitely gonna get more episodes out now that I mean for you it's being on co-op and all that, and me it's just these capstone projects.
right. I'm DPing our good friend Eric Lenz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very excited about
Yes,
that. Are
you
you
are.
working on that?
I'm not working on that, but I know you are working on that.
Man, that sucks. I wish you were working on it. We haven't worked on a project together in a while, man.
been a
Like
minute.
it's.
Yeah.
Were you on Balloon in any capacity?
No, I was not.
Oh, that sucks. I need to get. Well, we're having the premiere for Balloon, in an undisclosed date in March because I don't want the random public just showing up. So I will privately tell you that date. But there is a date in March that Balloon is going to be having a private screening for the award ceremonies. This is a private screening. This is not an official premiere because if it is, we get disqualified. So. Festivals are a love-hate relationship for me. I love them because when you do get in and you do have a chance at winning something, it feels awesome. But getting rejected freaking sucks, let me tell you. Clara has hit the floor so many times, and it has humbled me so much as a director and taught me, holy crap, do I have a lot to learn.
But hey, kind of kicked ass with it though.
Yeah, we tried, you know?
Hey, no, I'm fully of the belief of that is a step on the staircase to greatness that your directing will take you, and we're only gonna make better stuff.
Yeah, I
as we
know,
move
dude.
forward.
I'm excited. We have a lot of projects in the pipeline coming up this
Mm-hmm.
year. Hunter's directing another really cool one called Coyotes and Werewolves, I think.
Okay.
It is just an absolute gift of a project. I'll let him hopefully break that down. We need to have him on because I don't know
Yeah,
if
we do
you've
need to
gotten
get
to
back.
like interview him.
No, remember we've had him. I was
Oh my gosh,
on the last time he was on the show.
Hunter?
Yeah, this was years ago.
Oh gosh, Hunter
This was in your apartment.
Shawcross.
Yes.
You were there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. So it's been quite a minute then. Who else was in my apartment?
I could not tell you.
Yeah, my goodness. Well, if you know, tell us because we have no idea. Call my personal cell. Call my personal cell and tell me. Dude, it's been kind of crazy. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm excited to get back. I'm excited to kind of be. Oh my gosh, I keep hitting my mic to you with my podcast.
Yeah, I
microphone.
love the handheld pod mic.
Well, hey, the people didn't.
No,
The listeners didn't
hate.
need to know that.
No hate.
Well, because like I have like my setup in here. Listen, if listeners, sorry you can't see it, but the YouTube folks can. Like I have all my gear over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I take this mic and the cabling and the Focusrite and stuff, and I pack it all away because I don't like it sitting over here. I say that, but this light lives here permanently. Like it's a full on like studio light that I'm just like it needs to live right there, doesn't it? It doesn't because it makes my room super ugly, but gives me some
No.
lighting.
Yeah, you got a vibe going on. Much better than the blurred back room of my room.
No, the blurred
do better.
background's great, man. It adds ambiance.
That's a mystery.
It adds depth. It adds ambiance. Yeah, listener, if to paint a picture, Aiden's room is just completely blurred, but like the blurring is like going over his ears too, because it doesn't recognize that his headphones are not actually on his head.
Part of my body.
It thinks they're in the background. So projects coming up, things coming up. What do you got? What's in the pipeline? What's in the Aiden pipeline though?
Oh man. Okay, so I'm working on a few capstones, smaller just producer things, and then I'm the executive producer for a regional film competition that we're part of. So all the Cincinnati area schools, so like NKU, Cincinnati State, Xavier, us, a few others. There's a like UC Blue Ash and Claremont are in it. And these other schools have been doing this for like years upon years upon years. I think this is like been going on for almost 2 decades. And UC for some reason has never really been in it.
Really?
Even though we have our program.
Right.
So one of our professors rallied a team together.
Oh my gosh.
And
I was in that email from Ken.
yes, you were. Yes.
Holy cow. I was supposed to be on that project. Yeah, I think I did just ignore it. Wow. Okay. Keep going though.
Okay. Yeah, so right now we're with this competition. It's used to be 56 hours. I'm really thankful it's not anymore.
What is it now?
But now it's just about a month.
Oh. Wow.
So
That's
much
great.
more time. However, the approval process is much longer.
What's the name of the competition?
CMF.
CMF. That's a nice name.
College Music
College Music Festival.
not music festival. That's what. Yeah, hold on.
CMF, College Music Festival. We need to
Yeah,
put that on. If that's not a thing, write that
Have our
down.
own music festival.
That's good. College Music Festival. Movies?
Yeah, I think
College
it is
Movie Festival? I don't know why it wouldn't be CFF and not be College Film Festivals.
Yeah, it's College Movie Festival.
Movie.
I tried to find it under the UC thing, but of course it's under NKU. All right, and cut and yeah, it's part of CMF, the College Music Festival.
Guys, you still said music. That's what it is. It's the College
God.
Music Festival.
Oh my gosh.
It sounds like
has
the
been a
Country
long
Music
day.
Festival,
No, it's a College Movie Festival.
College-
Oh, I swear.
Movie Festival
Oh,
down in Cincinnati. Do we?
I swear I work on this
I
project.
don't think you're locked in, dude. I need you to lock in, Aiden.
Yeah, so it's the College Movie Festival.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we need to.
Oh boy. Are we rusty?
It's been a minute.
Is that what
yeah,
this
we are
is?
Rusty.
Is this-
We are rusty.
Is this us being
I haven't
rusty?
had to. I have not had to talk for this long in a minute.
I haven't had a talk. Period. I was supposed to speak at TEDx Sensi, man. Let me tell you how.
Really?
Let me tell you how awful my day has been. So I was supposed to speak at TEDx Sensi, and if any of them are listening, I want to start with I appreciate the opportunity. Okay. Going into it though, I was a little bummed out, man. They kind of led me on a little bit. In the sense of I sent my application in and they were like, awesome, we absolutely love your speech topic. Let's have a call to basically like go over your credentials and this, that, and the third, right? And I was like, word, okay, cool. Like they just want to prove that I'm like not lying on my application and that
yeah,
like
of
I'm
course.
actually
Are
the
you
person.
Ashton Francis?
Yeah, like are you Ashton Francis? Are you competent enough to talk both in an interview and, obviously on a stage?
Yeah, on a stage.
And I was like, sure, totally, let's do it. So we have the call, goes absolutely stellar. I mean, I was super jazzed about what I was talking about. I was jazzed about how the conversation was going. I really felt like that I was I don't know. It just felt like the conversation was going in a really, really positive direction. Mm-hmm. So much so that they were like, we love you. We would love to have you on the stage, but like we have to like run this by our higher ups basically. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But based on how that conversation goes, it sounds like I got it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
You sold me.
I get an email this afternoon that basically was like, yeah, no, and I quote, and this is where it bothered me, is because this was an oversight, right? Somebody missed this, as in they were like, we've already had a speech similar to this, so therefore we will not have you speak on the main stage. And I was like, I'm sorry, why didn't you tell me that you've had a speech like this before when I submitted the application? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think somebody would have caught that before?
Yeah, so it bothered me a little bit because then I found the reference of the speech they were talking about, and it wasn't similar at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my gripe for the day.
What was the topic?
Authenticity in creating. So basically, like what we talk about here, but much more structured and, in speech form, basically.
Yeah, of course. And so what they were thinking it was like similar to?
Just be
Yeah.
like being an authentic person. It was like a being how to be a more authentic person, or it was something along those lines. How to be more you,
But not more like content driven.
but not content driven, not creative
Yeah,
driven.
okay.
And I was like,
In, okay.
I don't know, and the connections I made, but you know what? That's fine. Maybe I just give this speech to you one day, and the Creative Digest listeners can just hear me rant for 15 minutes on the authenticity in creating, because I'll still die on that hill. I'll
go to that TED Talk.
Thanks, man. I feel like quite a few people would have. But hey, TED Talk, I'm not bitter because I'd really like this opportunity again. So I'm just expressing a gripe. It's a gripe. Welcome back.
Transition. Hey, okay, and we're back.
Well, we never left.
We never left.
We never left. Have you been?
We've always been here, and we always will be here.
Always will be here. Even if we take a 6-month break, we're always going to come back. You always know we're home. Creative Digest.
That's the promise of the Creative Digest.
Yeah, Creative Digest is like
no matter
home.
what, we'll be here.
No matter what, we're going to be here. Do you plan on going back to Europe this year? And will you come with me?
We'll see.
When are you going? When are you going?
Well, it depends purely on just summer internships, which we're kind of, at the point of me being a college student just waiting to see what happens. And then I'll be able to build my summer more of travel plans and, hopefully getting to go around with you a little bit and
please do
make some really cool stuff.
Well, can I tell you when I will be in our lovely, friendly town of Munich again? I'm going to be back there. And for our Munich listeners, holy crap, dude. Creative Digest is coming back to Munich. Creative Digest is coming back to Munich, and but I'm going to say we because I'm speaking because I'm speaking it into existence. And that is the 10 days of March 17th through the 29th. So, holy crap, guys, get excited. Creative Digest is coming back to Munich. It's back in German and German.
We're exclusively a German podcast.
We're exclusively a German podcast. How's your German been going? You been learning?
Oh, we've been learning as much as we can.
Yeah. I've been learning. It's clicking a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, as soon as we go back and we get in the mix of it, it's gonna get dicey again. But that just comes with time. But yeah, it's clicking more. The music's making more sense when I listen to it. The shows make more sense. The verbs are clicking. It's just clicking a little bit quicker than before. And I think that's coming with reps.
It makes it like little things make more sense of why it is what it is.
Because what's a lot of my desire of learning, right? A lot of my desire of learning the language is, of course, we have a ton of friends there, I guess now, which is great. But also, it's like I have other reasons I would like to be going to Germany, and as well Austria, which are all German speaking. So, I plan on going to the Berlin Film Festival next year and all these kinds of things. So it's like there are more reasons now. I feel like that I kind of just feel attached to it, right?
No, of course.
So yeah.
Have you talked to Tanmay at all of his recent experience?
Yeah, he's there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps me jealous. He keeps sending me photos of him eating Duna.
I saw that all over his stories.
Yeah, and it made me the story made me salty, and so did him sending it to me and saying, "I bet you're missing this."
And the photos of him on the red carpet.
Yeah. And I was like, "All right, buddy, thanks." Yeah, dude, Duna mit what was it? Kalbfleisch und mit Käse.
Und Spezi.
Und Spezi. Oh my god. It's coming to the US. I know this is the Creative Digest, but let's veer off for a second. Spezi is coming to the United States of America. Are you keen on this?
Oh yeah, no, I'm very excited for that.
I don't know if I am. It feels
Really?
well. First off, they're changing the name because they think it's too hard for
Probably.
Americans to pronounce. So they're changing it from the traditional name of Spätzle to, drumroll, Sunrise Cola.
Okay, I don't like that.
Sunrise or Sunset. It's something like that. It's called like Sunset. And
That does not roll off the tongue
it
well.
literally is the same logo. It's the same everything except here two things. Number one, it's a twist off cap because America.
Yeah.
That's problem number one I have with it. Problem number two
Honestly,
is it's the yellow, or it's the yellow, orange, and purple, and it's the Spätzle logo but with sunset on it instead. And I have all of the issues with that. Did Philip reach out to you when that happened?
no, he did not.
Well, he
This is my first time hearing about this.
Well, he gave me. Well, I was like talking to him about something else, and he was like, "Oh, well, also guess what?" And then he was on his way to work. This was November. Had to be November. He was on his way to work, and he was like, "Okay, we're gonna do a segment about this today." He was like, "I want you to send your American takes in by like 7 a.m. your time." Well, this is like 2 a.m. my time. So I jump out of bed, grab all my recording stuff, and give my takes on how Spätzle should be Spätzle, and it should stay in southern Bavaria. It should.
So you just don't think at all that it should come to America?
No, it hasn't spread throughout Germany. It hasn't spread throughout Europe because it is a southern Bavarian drink.
Do you
And
think that Americans are going to ruin it?
Americans are going to find a way to absolutely ruin it. It's going to taste wrong because of the sugar regulation differences. Like, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same.
I think it's also, I mean, from our perspective, it's one of those things where it's like, I think of, like, when I went back to Munich, I was so excited to, try it again and
Crack open.
go back, MV 965 and go back to the cafeteria, just, crack one open on lunch break.
Right.
So,
Like,
I think at least for me, it's definitely more of a sentimental drink than actually
Yeah.
like this is top tier and
yeah, it's not
list
the
of
best
favorite
drink in
beverages.
the world. But it was when Julius, right? Do you remember the first time we tried it? We were at,
Tunics.
Julius was like, grab you a couple of them bad girls and crack them open. We're like, are these alcoholic? Like, we're working right now. And he's like, no, you silly boys. This is Spätzle, and it is a cola drink, and it was wonderful. If we can be sponsored by Spätzle, that'd be awesome.
Well, I think one thing we have to explain is, for all of the non-German listeners, now that even though we're a German podcast apparently now,
Right.
what Spätzle actually is.
You please go
for the
ahead.
importance of the conversation. So basically, for every American, the best way to put it is think of Coca-Cola mixed with Fanta, but make it better than what you think it would taste like.
Well, their definition, right? Wasn't it cola and orange lemonade? Wasn't that the way they
I think that's definitely better.
classified it? So not orange juice, not so much Fanta, but I digress to their Fanta doesn't taste like our Fanta.
Oh, not even remotely close. It's more. I'd say Fanta is more of it's very less carbonated.
Yeah, it's more orange lemonade.
Yeah, it's more of a juice than a sugar.
Right, and it was great. Oh no, I keep hitting my mic, dude. My mic on mic action. It's horrible. Well, man, how's your counting? How's your and for those who are bored with this conversation, get over it. Like, how's your counting in German?
I would say it's still pretty good. I mean, it's once you get to a point, it's just repetitive and remembering the rules as you progress. But yeah,
like what?
I'm definitely focusing on other what I value is more useful than counting. But definitely getting like a bill, no longer being shocked on oh no, how much am I paying?
Right. Yeah, it's and I spent maybe like a day on memorizing up to like I memorized up to, gosh, I want to say like up to 200, and then after that it's quite literally repetitive.
Yeah.
I mean, thousands are even also repetitive. Like, it's
well, I mean, Or, sorry,
It's hundreds,
continue.
but instead of saying hundred, it's thousand, whatever, thousands, 5,000, whatever. So it's like, yeah, this is pretty straightforward. The only issues I really had was 11 to 19.
Really?
That's where I had the hard, like 11, 12, that, and then going through like to the end, I was like, or up to 19, I was like, oh my god, why am I having a hard time with this? Because 14, which is what, 14, and I was like, oh, it's 14, right? But it's not. It's Vilt, and I'm like, that's stupid. Why did it change? Why does every other one sound like its original counterpart, but then 14 sounds like Fit?
We're gonna be so set when our films air at the Berlin Film Festival.
Oh, we're gonna be dialed.
And we got that
Yeah, dude.
bilingual
A bilingual podcast.
speech going. Yeah.
The bilingual. Well, I
We're
mean,
gonna start dubbing in German.
yeah, probably, but it's gonna be like our broken German, right? Like it's gonna just
You wanna-
be like,
You
oh,
want to hear two Americans try their best in
yeah.
a podcast.
You're gonna hear us say "mit Karte bitte" like over and over and over, right? You know, that's gonna be.
I will say I love the memes to all the English speakers who got through Germany and Austria with genau, danke, mit Karte.
Ach so, like they just get by with the easy ones. Well, it's so funny. Like, why didn't we get this invested in another language, the language that we were going to go spend 2 months immersed in? Why didn't we get this invested then, before? So when we got there, it wasn't us saying, "Oh, danke and bitteschön," a bunch.
I for me it was definitely more so like I tried to prepare, but also not ever traveling outside of Europe before this,
America.
outside of America before this. It was having the very naive realization of how much depth there is to a language, and thinking like, oh, I obviously knowing how hearing from other people's past experiences, like being an only native English speaker, like I'll get around perfectly fine,
Right.
and like we never had any trouble.
No, we
so
didn't.
it was like having that, but then actually having that desire to pursue like the knowledge of learning another language.
Right. And so to make this a little bit relevant to our listeners here, and I appreciate them for bearing through this kind of story of ours, but I think the relevance to the listeners, and I think why we didn't learn the language then and why we're so invested in learning it now is because we're invested in the culture, in the people, in the things that they have, right? For the same reason, I know you and I are going back for Oktoberfest this year. We're not missing that. We're not missing that this year. And because we have an investment in the culture. I think you a little bit more than I. For various reasons, right?
You keep hitting that mic.
Dude, luckily the
Man, you just don't have the setup I have where
yeah, I
got
know
you
where it's
coming
the
through
same.
both
I'm
channels.
double mic'd up right now.
You might want to plug in that focus rate.
Yeah, I'm such a freaking idiot for this. Hopefully it even sounds good. I don't even know if the focus rate sounds good. But I think we're invested more than we were before we went, right? We were
Definitely.
invested then going in the sense of, oh, this is a really cool opportunity, and this is going to be really cool for our experiences, and for you and I to go experience life and as friends over there. And then I think when we came back, it became a whoa, we're in love with the people, and we're in love with the culture, and we're in love with this language now, and now we feel this responsibility of. And I think other people who learn these languages, and other Americans who listen to our podcast, the reason you go and learn a language is because it's just a new investment. You're investing in this culture, and a language is such a rich part of that culture. And for you and I, because of how much we love the people and the country and the things that we can do over there, us learning that language allows us to go a step deeper than the average visitor or the average person who just goes to Germany or just goes to France or goes to, right? Because we're learning the language, and eventually, hopefully, we can speak it well enough. We're now allowed to go deeper. into that cultural investment.
And I think definitely, and like trying to relate it more for like the viewer is for us being in that environment for so long, we were very much able to grow as creators. Like for me, I felt like personally I was able to have more of an identity in my creative background for one, from what I was able to learn while in Munich, but then also just growing as a person more. And I know that's like sounds so like, wow, when I was
in
study
Europe,
abroad,
yeah.
when I was in Europe, it really just changes you as a person. But more so from a creative aspect, it's great to see how other cultures function and how you can open yourself up to new experiences and always learn something new. And I mean, that's anywhere you go. Like, even for us, just traveling just around, Cincinnati, there's such identity everywhere you go of people just having their creative differences, but also cultural differences and that background making it very special.
Yeah, and that brings perspective. Okay, hold on. New arrival here. We are, but hey, welcome on, dude. Holy cow.
What's up, Ryan?
This is great, man. Hold on. Special guest
appearance.
Ryan Fleming. Holy crap. Guys, Ryan's here. Now we can hear him. Yeah, now we can hear him.
Oh, we can?
Yeah,
yes.
now the people will be able to hear your audio, man.
Dude. Yeah, I'll just be here for a few minutes, but
hey,
just want to say hi.
Say something real quick. We're actually in the middle of a conversation about how traveling shifts your not just your perspective, but your perspective as a creative. What do you have to say on that, Ryan?
I mean, it really does 1,000%, because for one, I mean, you're meeting people from all over the world, and every single person has their own story, right? So you're immediately impacting and being impacted by people that have lived lives totally different from your own, not only on like a personal level, like they have different families and different upbringings, but also like their culture is different, so that it's different in that aspect as well. So you really, I'd say you round out what your view of humanity is, if that makes sense, because you're not and like how can I say this? I'd say you're really discovering the many different ways that people can live their lives, and I think that that's a very valuable thing to have and to know, and that is both a good thing and also like a bad thing. It'll learn how you don't want to live your life, you know what I mean? So and when that comes to writing, to creating, I mean, it just opens up so many possibilities.
Now,
Man,
Ryan,
that just really got us locked. That was the response we need, dude. This podcast has just been Aiden and I being like, "What are we doing with our lives, and why are we here?" Way to lock us in, Ryan.
Well, what I was gonna ask is, I know, but Ryan, if you want to tell the viewers, you recently have been doing some traveling of your own. Would you like to, tell us a little bit about that?
I have, sure, yeah. I just spent about 2 months in Rome. I was working in a hostel over there, which was it was a pretty crazy experience. I mean, it was my job to meet people and connect with them, and to basically try and give them the best experience in Rome that they can have. So it was really, really awesome. A lot of nights spent, at the Colosseum, at Trevi Fountain, just sitting there eating McDonald's, and 3 a.m. we had the place to ourselves, and it was really, really special experience. And I think it's something, it's dad lore. Now is the time to get dad lore, and that's what I'm doing.
We hear you on the dad lore for sure. I mean, the amount of times Kaufplatz, bro.
Well, I was gonna say there's plenty of stories. Just the relatableness of 3 a.m. at McDonald's.
3 a.m. at McDonald's, post Orch 9, post Nachtgalerie. There's been quite a few trips to the 3 a.m. McDonald's, and we harshly learned, and here's the perspective of how I don't want to live. I don't want to live in a world where there's not a $1 menu at McDonald's. What the crap, Germany, dude? Get a $1 menu. I say, can I get a McChicken? They say, okay, €9, please. What? €9 for a McChicken, bro?
I remember the one morning where I ordered 2 breakfast burritos to find out they don't have a breakfast menu. And I got 2 burgers.
Oh, right. You ordered. He ordered 2. what are those things
It was
called?
2 sausage burritos.
Yeah, 2 sausage burritos, and they gave you 2 supreme like Big Macs. Like they were like the
I don't
most
even
gourmet
know.
thing that he could eat there. But you slammed both of them. You ate both of them.
Yeah. I mean, I was hungry enough. I was gonna eat anything.
Well, because we hopped on the train. Was that the night that you got off of the train? It was the trolley car.
No, this was. I remember this because we were in the subway, and it was.
So
There was a couple of us, but I remember it was like you, me, Lillian, and we're all just sitting there, just eating our McDonald's,
Yeah.
waiting 20
Yeah.
minutes for the
train.
subway to arrive, so we could get home.
Yeah, man. Oh my goodness, that was wild. Well, what a gift, and we're actually kind of hitting our time here. Believe it or not, Aiden, it's already 9:07. So we're really hitting our time as far as the podcast listeners. Any final thoughts?
Ryan, you have
Any final thoughts?
I want to hear from Ryan.
Bro, I'm just happy to be here with you guys. You know what I mean?
I hear that. Say that again
Yes,
for
we're
the
happy to
back
have
row.
you.
Yeah, we're Aiden. Final thoughts. Hit me with them.
So I mean, definitely a lot to look forward to coming up. We're very happy to be back, and like we said, getting time to both manage our schedules these past few months. Be excited.
Be excited.
Yes,
Be excited.
plenty of fun things coming.
Heck yeah, man. I'm super stoked. Hit the follows. You know what to do. Hit the follows.
Mm-hmm.
The Spotify specifically, that helps a ton. If you can follow the Spotify, follow the Apple Podcasts. And if you want to see my pretty
Yeah.
face, you want to see Aiden's pretty face and Ryan's beautiful voice, you can subscribe to the YouTube. And
Mm-hmm.
hey, you guys want to play some games after this? Post podcast recording.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, word. Follow, love, subscribe. I love everyone. Go be creative. Even if you take a 6-month
Ciao.
break. XOXO.